325 Yada Yahowah, Qatsyr, harvests. 6. Taruw'ah, trumpets. Dastardly dogs. There is yet another, even more phenomenal affirmation of Taruw'ah found in Yasha'yah, Isaiah. This prophetic insight is shared in the 55th and 56th chapters, running through the 57th. The prophet sets the stage, placing the harvest of souls into the context of its time. And that is essential because this is the only Mikra where we have a series of potential dates for its fulfillment. While we have narrowed the possibilities down to one of 4 days between the early autumn of 2026 and the fall of 2029, with so much riding upon the dissemination of Yahweh's outreach to lost souls, the more time we have the better. Within this prophecy, Yasha'yah reveals the societal conditions which will persist immediately before, during, and after Taruw'ah is fulfilled. Then he explains why rabbis will be unfazed by the sudden disappearance of thousands of covenant members. Of particular interest, Yasha'yah confirms that this gleaning of souls precedes the time of Jacob's troubles, making it a preemptive rescue mission. Also interesting, at the conclusion of Yasha'yah 57, we will find a compelling presentation of how we should be observing a Shabbat. By taking the time to study this prophetic portrayal within the context in which it is presented, we will come to appreciate why God is opposed to religion and come to better appreciate the consequence these doctrines have on 326 our children. The prophet's inspired commentary in Yasha'yah 55, 56, and 57, provides a scathing rebuke of Judaism during the time the Mikra of Taruw'ah is fulfilled, thereby revealing Yahweh's assessment of the Haredi. Turns out, his every word is germane to the purpose of trumpets, which is to share Yahweh's reconciling message with his people at this moment to counteract the influence of the rabbis. Therefore, by way of introduction, in Yasha'yah, Isaiah 55, Yahweh declares that, unlike religion, his redemption is free. This is an announcement and warning, Howie, to everyone who thirsts, shall same, choose to walk toward the water, Holok laha maim, move of your own volition to and approach the source of cleansing and life, Kal imperative. Then let the one who wants to enjoy the benefits of the relationship do so without cost. Wa asher ein lahu kisb, the path to walk to get the most enjoyment out of life does not require anyone to pay anything because money is not allowed. You have been given the opportunity to go about, Holok, it is your choice, so under the auspices of free will, travel through life by, Kal imperative, acquiring food, Shabat, choosing to procure and obtain what is needed, Kal imperative, which is nourishing, Wa Kal, and being fed, Kal imperative, correcting the scribal error in 1 Qatsyr based upon 4 Qatsyr. Come hither, Wa Holok, choose to move, walking, Kal imperative, to obtain, Shabat, to procure and acquire, Kal imperative, wine, Yain, without any money, Bar lo Qatsyr, without cost, without any silver coins or any transactional value, neither property, belongings nor unit of exchange, and milk, Shalab, without remuneration or compensation, Wa bar lo masha, freely without buying it or offering any portion of your earnings, without a 327 donation, a fee, or price. Yasha'yah, Yahowah frees, Isaiah 55:1. This is God's plea to his people. He wants them to stop enriching the rabbis. They have been paying them to rob them of their souls. All the while, Yahowah continues to offer all of the benefits of the Mikra and Berith without monetary compensation. Yahowah's words are not only nourishing, satisfying, and pay dividends, they are free. Water is the symbol of the Spirit who makes it all possible, and of the life and cleansing she provides. Wine, bread, and milk represent Pesach, Matzah, and Bikurim, providing the means to prolonged life, being perfected, and our adoption as children. They are all provided without remuneration, and there is nothing more valuable. So why do you spend, continually paying out money, lama shakal kisb, for that which is not actually bread, barlo lechem, without the loaf, such that your labor, wa yegia atom, so that your toil, is not satisfying and produces nothing of lasting value, varlo la sebar, is gluttonous and voracious, even insatiable without ever being enough, from 1 Qatsyr. Listen diligently, Shama, hear this as if your life depends upon it, paying attention, Kal infinitive, to me, LNE, and be nourished by, Wa Kal, and choose to consume, Kal imperative, that which is good, useful, and beneficial, Tob, productive, desirable, and valuable, in addition to being moral, even exquisitely pleasurable and extravagantly superb, Anag, divinely delightful and abundantly enjoyable, privileged and tender, hit pale imperfect Yosef, consistently act on your own initiative, free of all societal interference, religious pressure, or political compulsion, and enjoy the pleasurable pampering, with these being the most desirable and beneficial options, Bahar Dashan, with the best possible 328 choices, and with that which anoints, for your soul, Nipeshatam. Yasha'yah, Yahowah saves, Isaiah 55:2. On the surface, Yahowah is revealing that there is nothing nourishing about Judaism. it is a fraudulent transaction. And beyond this, God is particularly annoyed that his people have eliminated Chag Matzah from among his Mikrei, thereby ensuring that there is no cure for the religion that is killing them. In addition, the rabbis, who commandeered Yahweh's redemptive calendar and replaced Taruw'ah with Rosh Hashanah, exposing their Babylonian roots, are leeches, parasites on God's people. So, God is asking Israel to stop consuming the toxins they are distributing and turn to the only eternally nurturing source. While the rabbinic way has been unfulfilling, indeed miserable, and costly beyond measure, Yahowah is offering something exquisitely pleasurable and extravagantly superb. What do Jews have to lose apart from the yoke of an impoverishing and archaic religion? Why not give Yahowah's approach a try? After all, it is either insane or, shall we say, inadvisable, to continue on the same path, doing the same things that have brought the people such abject misery. This is good advice, especially recognizing that the path to Yahowah and to life eternal is through the mode Mikrei. Making this known so that it is heard around the world is the stated purpose of Taruw'ah. Incline your ear, Nata Erzan Atom, take note of your own free will, hyphal imperative, and walk to me, Waholak El Eni, then move in my direction of your own volition, Kal imperative. Choose to actually listen, Washama, hear this, Kal imperative, from one Qatsyr, so that your soul may continue to exist, Wahayanipesh Atom 329, your consciousness may continue, Kal imperfect Joseph. Then I will cut you into, establishing for you, Wakarat La Atom, and I will make, affirming on your behalf, Kal imperfect, not optional, cohortative, in one Qatsyr, the everlasting, Olam, eternal, never-ending, always existing, covenant, berith, family relationship agreement, which was affirmed and verified, a man, confirmed and enduring, made dependable and steadfast, with unremitting love and unfailing devotion, chesed, genuine affection and steadfast favoritism, loyalty born out of a sense of mutual support, by Daud. Daud, the beloved, David. Yasha'yah, Yahowah delivers, Isaiah 55:3. Your decision regarding the words you are reading will determine the fate of your soul, whether it is extinguished as a flickering flame blown out by the religious, or whether it grows to become nearly as brilliant as Daud. If we were to condense Yahowah's Torah the covenant into a summarizing statement, it would be that Daud provided the benefits of the covenant by fulfilling the modim and serves as the ultimate example of what it represents. The Taruw'ah is the Son of God, his chosen one, and firstborn, the shepherd and king of his people, a prophet and psalmist, the branch from which all things grow, the one anointed as the Mashiach and immersed in the Spirit as the eternal witness. He served as the Passover lamb and is our Savior. And let it be known, Yahowah is offering to give us what he achieved with his Son. All we have to do is listen and respond. This is the message Yisrael and Yahudah most need to hear. And there are only 10 Taruw'ah observances left to proclaim it. Behold, hen, pay attention because surely, I bestowed him as, Nathan Hugh, I offered him as a gift and 330 I enabled him to be, Kal perfect, an enduring witness, Ed, as a source of everlasting testimony, from Yud, someone who bears witness to that which is affirming and who will return to restore, to people of every ethnicity and culture, Layam, to the nations of the world, no matter how antiquated or misled, estranged people, appears to be a compound of La, Lo, Not and Am, family. An authorized leader publicly promoting the truth, Nagid, a worthy guide to that which is valuable and true, a legitimate and proper ruler, from Nagid, one who accurately reports the evidence, declaring it openly and conspicuously, proclaiming and publishing to inform and make known, and as an instructor, Wazawa, as well as someone who has been appointed and assigned to provide clear and authorized directions, a person who speaks loudly, verbally shouting over the noisy crowds, for an archaic and misled world, Layam, for people of every ethnicity and from different cultures, the misguided nations which are antiquated and estranged and thus not part of the family. Yasha'yah, Yahowah frees, Isaiah 55:4. I told you so. There have been a number of epiphany moments in our time together. One of these occurred several years ago. As I was making a transition from observations, and Yasha'yah, Isaiah, to coming home, and the Mizmor, Psalms, we came to realize David's relevance. He is the central figure in Yahowah's story, the most brilliant and articulate man who ever lived. He is the Son of God and the Messiah, the returning King of Kings. And, therefore, he is the one who rabbis allowed Christians to rob to create the caricature of Jesus which they then used to bludgeon God's people. This was a giant leap forward in our understanding of Yahowah's redemptive message to his people, but it was not our most reconciling insight. That would come 5 years later when, after rewriting the 25 existing volumes of 331 the Yada Yahowah series to incorporate what we had learned about the Messiah, we discovered the greatest treasure ever beheld by man. Daud was more than Messiah and King, more than the firstborn Son of God, more than Yahowah's chosen one and his most set apart. Dawd is the Taruw'ah, sacrificial lamb. It was Dawd, who by choice, fulfilled Pesach and Matzah leading to Bikurim and Shabat in year 4000 year. And so today, Taruw'ah exists to announce his return to provide reconciliation on Yom Kippurim in year 6000 year. While it has always been apparent that Dawd is returning to protect his people and serve as sovereign of Sukkah, no one heretofore had come to realize that Dawd will have lived 3 lives, just as he was anointed 3 times. And it was the failures of his first life and the responsibilities of the third which convinced our Mashiach to serve as Taruw'ah in his second coming. This is why my dear friend, Yasha'yah, conveyed this message from our Father, Yahowah, to his people. Incline your ear, taking note of this under the auspices of free will, Nata Erzan Atom, and walk to me, choosing to move in my direction, Waholak El Eni. Choose to actually listen, Washama, so that your soul may continue to exist, Wahaya Nipesh Atom. Then I will cut you in two, affirming on your behalf, Wakarat La Atom, the everlasting, Olam, covenant family, Berith, which was confirmed, is verified, and endures trustworthy and true, a man, through the unremitting love, unfailing devotion, genuine compassion, and overall favoritism, Kesed, of Dawd. Yasha'yah 55-3. Behold, because this would be a good time for you to look up and pay attention, I have bestowed him as a gift, offering him, Nathan Hugh, as an enduring witness to the restoring testimony, on behalf of 332 people from every ethnicity and culture, Liam, as the authorized leader conspicuously promoting the truth, the most valuable and accurate of guides, Nagid, and as an instructor, Wazawa, for an archaic and misled world, Liam. Yasha'yah, Isaiah 55:4. The implications are world-altering and individually transforming. When it comes to our salvation, no matter the question, Dawd is the answer. He not only fulfilled the Mikra, but he also provided the only eyewitness accounts of what he endured to facilitate our redemption. He is everything Jews should await and Christians should opine, and infinitely more. Simply stated, by working together Father and Son have made life within the covenant family possible for everyone who acknowledges and accepts what they have accomplished. This means that Jews were not condemned by God for failing to recognize Jesus Christ as their Messiah, and as the Son of God because he was neither. Their mistake was failing to acknowledge Yahowah and accept their Messiah and Son of God as the Passover Lamb. And it means that Jews ought not to be looking for the arrival of an unknown Mashiach to rescue them but, instead, eagerly anticipating Dawd's return on Kippurim to reconcile the relationship. This is the message of Taruw'ah. While these conclusions are obvious and rationally undeniable, like billions before me, I had also been deceived into believing that prophecies that were actually written to draw our attention to the life and lyrics of Dawd somehow applied to Jesus whom I had referred to as Yahushua, Yahowah delivers and saves. However, once immersed within the Mizmor, Psalms, and with a willingness to go where those words led, an entirely different picture emerged. This portrait was painted of our Mashiach writing in first person of his experience as our Taruw'ah. The reason Dawd wrote about what he would endure to save us from ourselves in first person is because 333 he would actually live it, making it all possible. He is offering everything the people need and more. That is the truth. Can you handle it? Once this treasure was revealed, I realized the importance of sharing what Yahowah achieved through this man, delineating what can be known about their relationship. Yahowah was calling Israel back home to their king, to one of their own. Simultaneously, I came to recognize the toxic root of Christianity, replacement theology. Every prophecy and promise Yahowah made to his son and people were misappropriated, literally stolen, from Dawd and Yisrael to legitimize the bogus claims of a contradictory faith. I immediately realized that I had to correct my commentary. To convey the truth, I would have to position Dawd in the role Yahowah intended. Therefore, after completing the second volume of Coming Home, I rewrote the 5 volumes of Observations and then 4 volumes of Questioning Paul. That led to this, the rewriting of the 8 volumes of Yada Yahowah beginning 5 years ago. When this was done, I turned my attention to the 2 books written in Babylon and composed the 3 volumes under the Babel banner, eye-openers to be sure. It was then with eager anticipation that I returned to Coming Home and started writing the 3rd volume. And it was there, translating the Mizmor again, that I recognized that Dawd had volunteered to fulfill the Modim with Yahowah's support. To be king of forever, he knew that he would need to earn his people's respect. And the best way to achieve that would be to fulfill Pesach and Matzah. It would be 2 days of agony and hell for an eternity of admiration in heaven. In the process, he would save his people and please his Father. Only, no one noticed until now. Today, the treasure of this realization is our reward, an unequivocal affirmation of the role Dawd plays in 334 Yahowah's plans and our salvation. And to highlight this discovery, there are several recurring themes that run throughout Yasha'yah, Isaiah. Foremost among them is painting the proper prophetic portrait of Dawd, as was done here, because he is the fulcrum of God's unfolding plan of redemption. Second to that, at least here in Yasha'yah, is the realization that a Dagawi will be deployed by Yahowah to call his people home by disclosing this treasure. I want to emphasize this here and now while asking you to pay attention. Behold, look now and see, there is a lone Gentile, Gawi, someone who is not a Israelite or Yahudi, absolute common masculine singular, one specific and particular individual who is not ethnically or religiously Jewish, singular in one Qatsyr, whom you consistently fail to recognize and acknowledge, Lo Yada, whom you do not know or understand, whom you are ignoring out of disrespect, Kal imperfect, whom you can actually read calling out to you, Kara, continuing to offer you an invitation which you can recite, summoning you by making announcements to welcome you, calling you out to a meeting, Kal imperfect. In addition, moreover and furthermore, this lone Gawi, this singular and unique Gentile who is not Jewish, who is neither acknowledged or respected by you, and who possesses information you fail to comprehend, Lo Yada Otter, who actually understands what you do not know, possessing information you genuinely need to comprehend at this moment in time, Kal perfect, shall be and now has been hurriedly brought before you, Ruz El Otter, is intense in his continual focus on you, not wasting any time. Genuinely working as quickly as possible to pursue you, Kal imperfect, singular in one Qatsyr, on behalf of, Laman, for the express purpose of approaching, Yahowah, an accurate 335 presentation of the name of Eloah, God as guided by his Torah, instructions regarding his higher existence, your God, Elohim Otter. To approach the set-apart one, Wala Kadosh, to draw near the special and unique one, from one Qatsyr, of Yisrael, individuals who engage and endure with God. For indeed, because truly, emphasizing and strengthening this statement, he is reaffirming your status, lifting you up by shaking the tree and knocking off the fruit so that you can be gleaned, Otter, making contact to dislodge you, preparing you for the harvest, by recognizing and respecting your value. Yasha'yah, Yahowah saves, Isaiah 55:5. I work for Yahowah and his son, Daud, and serve their people, not myself. I have never sought recognition or a following, preferring to remain anonymous, which is why I wrote under the nom de plume of Yada. But my preference is not relevant here because Yahowah has chosen to disclose our relationship. He did so because he wants his people to listen to him and come home. Let's be clear, Daud is the leader, the Messiah, the Savior, and he is the prophet providing God's eternal and restoring witness. I am just one of his heralds pointing his people in his direction. I am a witness to the witness, a voice calling out in the wilderness of lost souls. And yet, with so little time, so much at stake, and a shortage of heralds, God chose to work through this one. Should you want to know his qualifications, should that matter more to you than the fact he is presenting Yahowah's testimony, Yasha'yah conveyed his credentials in the 11th chapter of his prophetic revelation. You will find a review of it in chapter 7 of volume 4, Spirit of Understanding in Observations. He wrote so that you might 336 seek, Dirosh, inquire about and consult with, learn all of the information that has been made available regarding, especially, that which was not previously understood, caring enough to develop a relationship with, Yahowah, a transliteration of, our Eloah, God as directed in his Torah, teaching regarding his higher existence, while he may be found and encountered, Bar Matzahu, while he may be learned about and experienced, Nephil infinitive, he is specified in one Qatsyr. Choose to call upon him, Kara Hu, of your own volition, summon him, read all about him, invite and welcome him, Kal imperative, while he is near, Bar Haya Hu Karob, while his very existence is approaching and his presence is within reach, especially, while he can be engaged in a close personal relationship. Yasha'yah, Yahowah delivers, Isaiah 55:6. If you have not done so already, you have very little time left to learn what you need to know about Yahowah to engage in a relationship with him. As I write these words in the summer of 2023, year 6000 year is just 10 years away. However, please do not act as if you have that much time because with each passing day the truth will become increasingly censored and accepting it more difficult. As religions develop over time and become more pervasive, as they become more fully established and integrated within a culture, it becomes increasingly difficult to find Yahowah through the maze of societal clutter. This is especially true in Israel and with ultra-Orthodox Judaism. Further, when belief systems are unchecked, and allowed to permeate people's minds, they preclude rational thinking, and cause most to react adversely to evidence that is contrary to their faith, no matter how legitimate or convincing. That is the message Yahowah is communicating here. 337 Why wait? You have everything to gain and nothing to lose. Those in violation of the standard, Rasha, the unethical and immoral, the religious and political, the wicked and criminal, should choose to reject his own way, as Ab Derek Hu, should abandon and forsake, departing from his path, and the evil and deceitful individual, YYV5C6, the corrupt and idolatrous man whose beliefs are untrue, his musings and thoughts, YYV5C6, his opinions and rationale, his intentions and desires, his imaginings and beliefs. Let him choose of his own volition, to return, YYV5C6, of his own free will, may he desire coming back and being restored, Kal imperfect Jussiv, 2, L, Yahowah, Yahowah, the proper pronunciation of Yahowah, our Eloah, God has directed in his Torah, teaching regarding his Yasha'yah, existence and our Shalom, restoration, so that he may have compassion on him and love him, re-engaging in a relationship with him, YYV5C6, so that he might show his affection toward him, demonstrating his concern, greeting and welcoming him, Peel imperfect. And as for our God, YL Elohim Anakdu, he will actually forgive, La Salak, he will pardon, removing all traces of guilt from, many, Rabah, numerous, an increasing number, Hyphal imperfect. Yasha'yah, Yahowah frees, Isaiah 55:7. This is Taruw'ah's message and our mission. Come out of Babylon and return to Yahowah and he will shower blessings on your soul. Without exception, everyone who makes this decision will find God waiting to embrace them, love them, and raise them. In the religious debate between man and God regarding whom should be trusted, Yahowah has once again been unequivocal. Man's ways are not God's way. 338 For my thoughts, ky makashabar any, my reasoning and purpose, are not your thoughts, lo makashabar atom. And neither are my ways, while lo derek any, your ways, derek atom, prophetically declares, Naum, Yahowah, Yahowah, written as directed by his Torah, teaching regarding his higher existence. Yasha'yah, Yahowah saves, Isaiah 55:8. We humans, some 95% of us, are political and religious, patriotic and conspiratorial, and God is not. Man holds opinions and God knows. Humans are typically wrong, and God is always right. One of the many conclusions we have deduced from the evidence Yahowah has provided, is that the universe is beyond the 4 dimensions of space-time we currently understand. We have surmised that it is actually 6-dimensional, with the repulsive nature of dark energy, and the attraction of dark matter best explained in terms of their dimensionality. We have then come to perceive Yahowah as existing in the 7th dimension. This would help explain what follows. For the spiritual realm of the heavens, ky shamaim, are dimensions beyond, Gaba, are higher, even beyond the comprehension of, the material realm, min eres, those on earth. Likewise, so, ken, my ways, derek any, are well in advance, Gaba, past the dimensions of your ways, derek atom, your mannerisms and conduct of life, and especially, your most popular paths, and, my reasoning, makashabar any, my thoughts and conclusions, distant from, min, separate and distinct from, your inclinations and opinions, makashabar atom, your thoughts and reasoning. Yasha'yah, Yahowah delivers, Isaiah 55:9. I would certainly hope so considering the utter insanity of conspiracy theorists, even of the progressive mindset, 339 especially cancel culture, critical race theory, multiculturalism, gender proliferation, socialism, communism, patriotism, and political correctness. It is as if the least sane are running the asylum and the least intelligent, the schools. The metaphors we surmised were indicative of Yahowah pouring out his word such that it would take root and grow are affirmed with this declaration. Indeed, just as, ky kar asher, the rain, Geshem, descends, coming down, Yarad, along with snow, shalag, from the sky, min shamaim, and they do not return there without watering and refreshing the earth, shem lo shub ky imroa eth eres, such that it conceives life, buds, yalot high, it gives birth, sprouts and grows, zamak high, gives seeds, Nathan zerah, to the one who sows, laha zerah, dispersing and planting the seeds, and there is bread to eat, lechem laha kal. Yasha'yah 55:10, so shall my word be, ken haya debar any. For the benefit of the relationship, Asher, to show the way to get the most out of life, that which goes out of my mouth, yatsam in pay any, shall not return to me without result, lo shu el any rekam, will not come back to me without having fulfilled its purpose, delivering what was expected. Without exception, kym, it will accomplish, asar, it will engage, act, and do, producing, the relational benefits which, Asher, I desire, chafets, I want and I choose what I deem beneficial and pleasing. And it will succeed, wazalak, it will prosper and thrive, always accomplishing the goal, for the benefit of the relationship for which I extended it, Asher shalak hu. Yasha'yah, Yahowah saves, Isaiah 55:11. Yahowah spoke life into existence, documenting his oration using the 3-dimensional language of DNA. He then nurtures and restores the living with his words. They 340 convey what God wants, which is to benefit the relationship he sought to establish with humankind. While the religious have done their utmost to change, counterfeit, and conceal Yahweh's word, his purpose, which is to form loving, familial relationships with men and women who choose to know him and who elect to trust and rely upon him, will not be thwarted. Our reunion will be joyous, our relationship reconciled, our lives guided, and our countenance serene. For in joy, ky simcha, because in gladness, with a positive attitude, you will come out, Qatsyr, you will be brought out, and with the relationship reconciled, shalom, prosperous and satisfied, as friends and companions, blessed and in peace, completely sound, you will be guided and led, Yabal, you will be directed and escorted, Hophel imperfect paragogic none, the beneficiaries are being overtly led by God who is providing the ongoing guidance, to the mountains and the hilltops, ha becoming worry-free, peaceful, and serene, Patsak, becoming stress-free, as you appear, La Pana Atom, singing, Rhina, shouting for joy. All of the trees of the field, Shirlets Hasadeh, shall clap their hands, bending in a celebratory manner, Makakaf. Yasha'yah, Yahowah delivers, Isaiah 55:12. Instead of, Takath, in place of, the thorn bush, Nyatsuz, a prickly shrub, a cypress tree, birch, an evergreen pine or noble fir, shall ascend, Allah. And in place of, Takath, from one Qatsyr, the briar, Surfad, the stinging nettle, the myrtle, Haddas, shall rise, Allah. And it will exist, higher, as a place to approach, La Shamla, as a means to know the name of, Yahowah, a transliteration of Yahowah is instructed in his Torah, teaching regarding his higher, existence, an everlasting sign and symbol, La Otholam, an eternal example and illustration, a banner and signal for all time, 341 which shall never be uprooted or cut down, Lo Karat, which shall never cease or be cut away. Yasha'yah, Yahowah frees, Isaiah 55:13. Not only are we returning to the Gan Eden, Yahowah will be there to greet us. And all of the irritating and toxic plants which vexed Adam upon his exile will be replaced with trees Yahowah finds shapely and pleasing. This is among the most enlightening prophecies we have read thus far. It is certainly worth repeating. This is an announcement and warning, Howie, to everyone who thirsts, shall same, choose to walk toward the water, toward the source of cleansing and life, Holoklah Hamaim. Then, let the one who wants to enjoy the benefits of the relationship do so without cost, because the path to walk to get the most enjoyment out of life does not require anyone to pay anything. Wa Asherin La Hu Keesb. You have been given the opportunity to go about, Holok, acquiring food, choosing to procure and obtain what is needed, Shabbat, and is nourishing, Wa Kal. Come hither, Wa, to obtain, Shabbat, wine, Yain, without any money, Varlo Keesb, and milk, Shalab, without remuneration or compensation, Wabar Lomasha. Yasha'yah 55:1. So please explain, why do you spend, continually paying out money, Lamar Shakal keys, for that which is not actually bread, Bar Lo Lechem, such that your labor, Yegya Atom, is not satisfying and produces nothing of lasting value, Bar Lo La Sebar. Listen diligently, Shama, to me, Lne, and be nourished by, Wakal, that which is good, by that which is useful and beneficial, productive and valuable, Tob, even exquisitely pleasurable and extravagantly superb, divinely delightful and abundantly enjoyable 342 Anag, with these being the most desirable and beneficial options, Bahar Dashan, for your soul, Nipesh Atom. Yasha'yah 55:2. Incline your ear, doing so of your own volition, Nata Urzan Atom, and choose to walk to me, Waholok Lne. Choose to actually listen, Washama, so that your soul may continue to exist, Wahaya Nipesh Atom. Then I will cut you into, Wakarat La Atom, the everlasting, Olam, covenant, Varith, which was affirmed, established, and verified, a man, through the unremitting love and unfailing devotion, Kesed, of Daud. Yasha'yah 55:3. Behold, because surely, Hen, I bestowed and offered him as a gift for, Nathan Hugh, an enduring and restoring witness, Ed, to people of every ethnicity and culture, Laam, an authorized leader publicly promoting the truth, Nagid, and as an instructor, Wazawa, for an archaic and misled world, Laam. Yasha'yah 55:4. I want to emphasize this here and now, asking you to pay attention, Hen, there is a lone Gentile, someone who is neither a Israelite nor Yahudi, Gawi, whom you consistently fail to recognize and acknowledge, Lo Yada, whom you can actually read consistently calling you out, literally summoning you by continuing to make pronouncements to welcome you to an upcoming meeting, Kara. In addition, this lone Gawi, who is not understood or respected by you, and who possesses information you fail to comprehend, lo Yada, shall be, and now has been, hurriedly brought before you, and he is intense in his continual focus upon you, not wasting any time, genuinely working as quickly as possible to pursue you, rules el otter, on behalf of, Laman, Yahowah, your God, Elohim 343 Atar, approaching the set-apart one, Walakadosh of Yisrael. For indeed, KY, he is reaffirming your status, lifting you up by shaking the tree to knock off the fruit so that you can be gleaned, preparing you for the harvest by recognizing and respecting your value, Pa Otter. Yasha'yah 55-5. Seek, learning the information which has been made available about, Durosh, Yahowah, while he may be found and encountered, Bar Matzahu. Choose to call upon him, Karahu, while he is near, Bar Hayahu Karob. Yasha'yah 55-6. Those in violation of the standard, the unethical and immoral, the religious and political, Rasha, should choose to reject their own way, as Abderek, along with the evil and deceitful individual whose beliefs, musings, and opinions are untrue, Wa Awenish Makashabahu. Let him choose, of his own volition, to return, Wa Shub, to, El Yahowah, so that he may have compassion on him and love him, re-engaging in a relationship with him, Wa Racham. And as for our God, Wa El Elohim Anaknu, he will actually forgive, La Salak, many, Rabah. Yasha'yah 55-7. For my thoughts, Ky Makashabar Eni, are not your thoughts, Lo Makashabar Atom. And neither are my ways, Wa Lo Derek Eni, your ways, Derek Atom, prophetically declares, Naum, Yahowah. Yasha'yah 55-8. For the spiritual realm, Ky Shamaim, is dimensions beyond the comprehension of, Gaba, the material realm, Min Eres. 344 likewise. So, Ken, are my ways, Derek Eni, well in advance, Gaba, of your ways, Derek Atom, and, Wa, my reasoning, Makashabar Eni, distant from, Min, your inclinations and opinions, Makashabar Atom. Yasha'yah 55-9. Indeed, just as, Ky Kar Asher, the rain, Geshem, descends coming down, Yarad, along with snow, Wa Ha-Shalag, from the sky, Min Ha-Shamaim, they do not return there without watering and refreshing the earth, Wa Shem Lo Shub Ky Imroa Eth Ha-Eres, such that it conceives life, buds, Wa Yalod High, sprouts, and grows, Wa Zamak High. When I give seeds, Wa Nathan Zerah, to the one who sows, La Ha-Zerah, there is bread to eat, Wa Lechem La Ha-Kal. Yasha'yah 55-10, so shall my word be, Ken Hayadabar Eni. For the benefit of the relationship, Asher, that which goes out of my mouth, Yatsamin Pei Eni, shall not return to me without result, delivering what was expected, Lo Shub El Eni Rekam. Without exception, Kym, it will accomplish, Asar, the relational benefits which, Asher, I desire for those I find pleasing, Chafets. And it will succeed, Wazalak, for the benefit of the relationship for which I have extended it, Asher Shalak. Yasha'yah 55-11. Indeed, with a positive attitude, Ky Bar Simcha, you will be brought out and withdrawn, Yatsa. And with the relationship reconciled, Wa Bar Shalaum, you will be guided and led, Yabal, to the mountains and to the hilltops, Ha Ha Wa Ha Jaibar, becoming worry-free, peaceful, and serene, Patsak, as you appear, La Pana Atom, singing, Rina. 345 All of the trees of the field, Wa Shurletz Ha-Sardeh, shall clap their hands, bending in a celebratory manner, Makakaf. Yasha'yah 55-12. Instead of, Takath the thorn bush, Nyatzuz a cypress tree and noble fir, Birch, shall ascend, Allah. And in place of, Watakath, the stinging nettle, Surfad, a myrtle, Hadas, shall rise, Allah. And this will be, Wahaya, a place to approach, La Shamla, Yahowah, an everlasting sign and symbol, La Otholam, which shall never be uprooted or cut down, Lo Carrot. Yasha'yah, Yahowah freeze, Isaiah 55:13. Breathless, and now on to the 56th chapter, we are introduced, to the result of Yasha'yah 55. For this is what, Ky Ko, Yahowah, a transliteration of, our Eloah, God has directed in his Torah, teaching regarding his higher, existence, says, Amar, promises and vows, be observant and consider, Shema, remain focused, closely examining while thinking about, the means to exercise good judgment and justly resolve disputes, Mishpat, making good decisions, from my, to question the implications of Shafot, deciding, then, Wa, engage, acting upon, Asar, do, profiting from, that which is correct and vindicating, Zardaka, that which is right, justifiable and acquitting, because indeed, KY, my deliverance and resulting salvation, Yasha'yah, my liberation and freedom, from Yasha, to save, liberate, free, and deliver, are approaching, Taruw'ah, is near, close, and intimately personal. 346 and, Wah, the one who is correct about me, Tzaddik, the one who is right about me, the one with a just cause, and even my righteous one, will come, Labo, will arrive, and he will be revealed, Galah, he will be made known, disclosed, and seen. Yasha'yah, Yahowah saves, Isaiah 56:1. To be saved we must know, and to know requires being observant. We must also act, engaging based on what Yahowah has requested. Importantly, God wants us to be right, and to be correct we must exercise good judgment. So, while Yahowah saves, he is discriminating. In this regard, Yahowah repeatedly affirms that Daud is Tzaddik, right? He is not only the righteous one who is returning, but he is also better known than anyone in Yahowah's unfolding story. And that is partly because he has been here twice before. Therefore, Yasha'yah is reminding his people that the Gawi which Israel is wont to deny, the one conveying Yasha'yah's and Daud's message, is telling them what they most need to hear. His reference serves to affirm that he is right about father and son, and so if they listen to him, they can be part of the harvest of saved souls. Blessed by the benefits of the relationship, Ashri, joyous and productive by way of being on the correct path, is the person, Inaush, is the mortal man and otherwise ordinary individual, who acts upon and engages based upon this, a Sarjoth, who participates in, celebrates, and profits from, doing these things. Because, Wah, the son, Ben, the child of Adam, mankind, by observing, Shema, by closely examining and carefully considering, the Shabat, the seventh day of promise, and by not defiling and profaning it, Minchorhu, without making it common and ordinary or treating it with contempt, he is empowered and strengthened, enlightened and 347 restored, Chazak, he prevails and is established, invigorated and enabled, becoming intensely steadfast and unwavering, renewed and resolute, firm and capable, by it. Bahai, and by being observant, Washama, by remaining focused and thoughtful, his hand, Yodhu, his actions and that which he influences, is kept from acting upon or engaging in, Minasar, does not do, anything unjust, immoral, or irrational, unethical, harmful, troubling, counterproductive, or evil. Yasha'yah, Yahowah delivers, Isaiah 56:2. This begins by stating that the person who engages in the aforementioned is blessed. Therefore, we receive the benefits of the covenant relationship, by being observant, by exercising good judgment, and by acting upon that which is right. This leads to our deliverance and salvation. God then discloses that the child of Adam, who is a man created in God's image with a neshama, conscience, by observing the Shabat is strengthened and empowered, enlightened and restored, even becoming steadfast and unwavering. This means that our active and studious approach to the seventh day is valid. The religious all profane the Shabat, making it common. By doing nothing during it, the Hasidic make it like every other day in their lives. Christians replace it with Sunday worship services. And Muslims, clueless as ever, after claiming that their Quran confirms the Torah, play jihadist on Fridays between prostrations to Allah. This is also a scathing indictment of Roman Catholicism and its stepchildren, Orthodox and Protestant Christianity. According to God, our salvation is dependent upon how we observe His Shabat. It is impossible to square 348 any of this with Sunday worship services, the Lord's Day, or replacement theology. When we observe the Torah and act upon its instructions, we do not become Pollyannish but, instead, real, established, confident, and truthful, like Daud. Our actions are guided by Yahowah, keeping us from being unjust, immoral, or irrational, harmful, troubling, or evil. Continuing to speak of the Gawi, we find that this observant foreigner and authorized designee is directly associated with Yahowah. Do not say to, Wa Alamar, do not claim, the observant son of a foreign land, Wa Ben Ha-Nekar, one who pays attention and is observant, from Naka, one who knows and understands through thoughtful examination, who recognizes and acknowledges, and who is discerning and respectful, who has formed a relationship with, Lawa El, who is associated with, having joined forces with, who is attached and bound to, engaged in a very close friendship with and therefore accompanying, Yahowah. God's name transliterated as guided by His Torah, instructions on His higher existence and His role in our Shalom, reconciliation as Eloah, Almighty God, something which would infer or suggest, La'amar, Yahowah, the pronunciation of Yehovah as guided by His Torah, teaching regarding His higher existence, has abandoned me, preventing me from being included, Badal Eni, has separated me and forsaken me, left, dismissed. and exclude me, as part of his family, min al-amhu, from his people. And let not an esteemed and authorized designee say, wa al-mahasaris, let not the official representative and qualified leader who has been castrated or emasculated by the society and thus cast off and neutered, profess, what now, if, hen, I have become a 349 silenced counselor and muted messenger, any etziabish, I have become a paralyzed worker akin to a shriveled, withered, and dried up tree, from Qatsyr, an advisor and counselor who has been shut down, and from YBasar, one who proclaims my message to humanity and Yabab, speaking loudly on my behalf. Yasha'yah, Yahowah saves, Isaiah 56:3. To the contrary, this is what, Kyko, Yahowah, a transliteration of, our Eloah, God has directed in his Torah, teaching regarding his higher existence, says, Amar, promises and declares, on behalf of individuals who have been castrated as a result of the positions they have taken as leaders, Lahasaris, regarding highly valued individuals who have been granted authorization, these official guides, who have been emasculated and neutered by their societies as a result of their leadership. Of those who provide guidance regarding the benefits of the relationship, Asher, who walk along the correct path, by being consistently and continually observant, Shamar, by closely examining and carefully considering, Kal imperfect active, who are literally and genuinely, constantly and habitually attentive, during my Shabbats, Eth Shabbatoth any, with regard to the celebration of my promise pertaining to the seventh day. Who evaluate and choose, Basha, who prefer and desire, who after probing and examining the evidence prefer, Kal perfect, to walk along the correct path, Bar Asher, the proper way, in deference to me, Shafets, out of respect for me and to please me by expressing their desire to be with me, volunteering and eager to experience this with me, Kal perfect, and, Wa, who are willing to demonstrate an intense desire to learn about, to be steadfastly committed to, and to become empowered, Shazak, who resolutely focused upon, committed to studying, and dedicated to accomplishing the intended purpose through their unremitting and unrelenting resolve to help encourage 350 others to grasp hold of and prevail through, hyphal participle, the subject causes the object to participate in this manner, becoming ever more like them to the point that they are literally defined by this approach, by my covenant, Barbarith any, through my family-oriented agreement, Yasha'yah 56:4, I will offer. Freely giving, Wa Nathan, I will bestow and grant, to them, Lahem, concerning them and on their behalf, in my home and within my family, Varbaith any, in my household, and within my protected enclosure, Wabarchauma any, inside of my secure and impenetrable walls, in my especially compassionate embrace as the father and mother-in-law, from an unused root meaning to join, an outstretched, welcoming, and empowering hand, Yod, the support, authority, and ability to powerfully influence so as to accomplish an essential mission, and a name, Washem. A personal and proper designation and renown, even better, Tob, more pleasing and satisfying, beneficial and valuable, than other sons and daughters, Min Ben Wa Min Bath. I will give to him and them, Nathan La Hu, Hem, I will offer him and then bestow upon them, appointing for him and them, Hu, him in one Qatsyr and 70, Hem, them in one Qatsyr and Mount, an everlasting and eternal, Olam, an enduring, designation and reputation, Shem, personal and proper name, which, for the benefit of the relationship, Asher, to convey the correct way to get the most enjoyment out of life, will never be removed, Lo Karath, will not be taken away, Nephil imperfect. The subject carries this out and receives the benefit for all time. Yasha'yah, Yahowah saves, Isaiah 56:5. Let it not be said in the presence of this Naka, observant foreigner and Seres, authorized designee the observant foreigner who has come to understand through thoughtful examination and who, as the official designee, has been ostracized from the mainstream that Yahowah has 351 abandoned his people, nor prevented them from being part of his family. He has done no such thing, and the Naka and Seres knows better. Israelites are estranged from God because they have done this to themselves. His mission is to share this profound truth with all who will listen. Moreover, this Naka, observant foreigner and Seres, authorized designee has not sought to replace Yahweh but, instead, to welcome the beloved of Yah. He is committed to guiding God's people home. Yahowah values the observant, especially when they take their lumps for standing up against the ways of man. He wants us to provide guidance, especially regarding the benefits of the covenant relationship. The insight which stands out, grabbing our attention, is the way Yahowah describes his designee's observance of the Shabbat. He is not inactive, doing nothing, as the religious profess but, instead, explores the word and actively shares what he has learned. As a result of his approach to the Day of Promise, he is found leading others down the path which provides the benefits of the relationship. This is something the Naka, observant foreigner and Seres, authorized designee is eager to experience with Yahowah, as it is born out of his respect for God and his desire to please him. As such, this individual demonstrates an intense desire to learn, which he finds enriching and empowering. And Yahowah has responded to his steadfast devotion to the covenant by welcoming him into his family. God is shown doing so with an outstretched and enabling hand. While it is apparent that the Naka is seeking to please Yahowah, and is not pursuing accolades, God, as his father, is offering him a name better than any other. He 352 will forever be known as one who shared the benefits of the relationship. And having done so, others will benefit. The children, Wa Beni, of the observant and discerning foreigner, Ha Nekar, of the one who pays attention and is attentive, from Naka, one who knows and understands through thoughtful examination, who recognizes and acknowledges, and who is perceptive and respectful, have formed a relationship with, Ha Lawa Al, are associated with, having joined forces with, are attached and bound to, and are engaged in a very close friendship with and are therefore seen as accompanying, Yahowah. A transliteration of Yahowah as instructed in his Torah, teaching regarding his higher existence. They serve him, La Sharat Hu, they render assistance to and help him, in love with, Wa La Ehabeth, in a close personal relationship, they show their genuine affection for and appreciation of, Yahowah's, Yahowah, an accurate presentation of the name of Eloah, God as guided by his Torah, instructions regarding his higher existence, name, Shem, personal and proper designation and reputation. Seeking to exist as his co-workers, La Haya La Hu La Ebed, they always observe, Shel Shema, exclusively, literally, and continually they examine and consider, Kal participle active, known for actually and actively being attentive and thoughtful, the Shabat, the promise of the seventh day, making it special by not disrespecting it, Min Chol Hu, not treating it with contempt by allowing it to become commonplace and ordinary. They willingly demonstrate an intense desire to learn about, to be steadfastly committed to, and to become empowered, Chazak, they are resolutely focused upon, committed to studying about, then dedicated to 353 accomplishing the intended purpose through their unremitting and unrelenting resolve to help encourage others to grasp hold of and prevail, Hyphal participle, by my covenant, Barbarith Eni, through my family-oriented agreement. Yasha'yah 56-6. It is my desire, Tafila Eni, due to my intervention and assessment and as a result of my reasoning and judgment, it is my decision, to bring Wabo to pursue and carry, them to my set-apart mountain, Hem El Ha Kodesh Eni, and cause them to rejoice, being elated, Wasamak Hem, to have them enjoy a positive attitude, happy, in the family, Bar Baith, within the home. Their uplifting sacrifices and elevating offerings, Ola Hem Wa Zebak Hem, will be accepted and favored, La Ratzon, will be approved with pleasure, on my altar, Al Mizbeach Eni. This is because, KY, my house, Baith Eni, my home and family, shall be called, Kara, will be designated and summoned as, a home, Baith, of intervention, Tafila, of reasoned request and sound judgment, from Pala, to be separated and designated as marvelous and wonderful, for the entire family, La Shel Ha-Am. Yasha'yah, Yahowah saves, Isaiah 56:7. This is role reversal. Hasidic Jews look down upon non-ultra-Orthodox Jews, and they are racists in their degradation of Gaum. With all evidence to the contrary, they view themselves as superior. And yet those receiving preferential treatment from Yahowah are Gaum, and secular Jews. As the proverbial sons and daughters of the Naka, observant foreigner, they would all have been decidedly anti-religious. Let's be clear, the Gaum being adopted by Yahowah are not accepted because they are Gaum but instead because they exemplify the meaning of Yisrael, 354 individuals who engage and endure with God. These Yahwim are not being rejected or replaced because they are Yahwim but instead because they have chosen to behave like Gaum. Said another way, the covenant relationship is correct while Judaism is wrong. There are a number of commonalities between what has been said of the Naka and those who have come to know Yahowah through this partnership. Following Abraham's footsteps, they have all come to enjoy a close, personal relationship with Yahowah. These children of the covenant have fallen in love with Yahowah's name, which is why you will find so many of them congregating around a place called Yada Yahowah. We are thrilled to be employed by our Heavenly Father and consider it a privilege to serve Yah. As unqualified as we may be, we recognize that with time short and workers few, God is more than capable of overcoming our inadequacies, enlightening and empowering us with His Word and Spirit. As Yasha'yah's prophecy attests, we are actively engaged on the Shabat, celebrating the promise of the seventh day by being observant. We use this day to closely examine and carefully consider Yahowah's Torah, teaching and guidance. For many of us, the seventh day gets underway as the sun sets on a Friday evening, and we begin our Shabbat Torah study on Yada Yah Radio, 7:30 p.m. EST at blogtalkradio.com/Yada. For us, the Shabbat is liberating. It is the antithesis of the rabbinical approach of being paralyzed by ridiculous religious edicts which ensures that this weekly opportunity to enhance one's relationship with Yahowah is squandered. With Hasidic Jews having made their stifling and antiquated religion their life's work, the Shabat is profaned 355 as the most religious day of the week. Unlike those who have come to know Yahowah through the Naka, they show their contempt by honoring their Talmud and then calling their religious drivel, the Torah. They despise Yahowah's name to such a degree, they have edited it out of the Torah and prophets. The majority of souls who have come to know Yahowah through the Naka's translations and insights are Yahweh Jews. We are Chazak Bar Barith, steadfastly committed to learning all there is to know about the covenant and demonstrate our unremitting and unrelenting resolve to encourage others to prevail, as we have, by becoming part of God's family. Upon Yahowah's return with Dowd on Yom Kippurim, we joyfully anticipate being brought to the Har Kodesh by Yahowah. We will be there to celebrate God's reconciliation with Israel and Yahweh, a reunion we serve to enhance by openly sharing the words of the prophets. As part of Yahowah's growing family, we will rejoice, knowing that we contributed as Yahowah had requested. Our offering on this day will be accepted because it is comprised of Israelites and Yahweh. We will have played our part in calling them home. The favored of God will be lifted up on this day because they, too, have come to love the name, people, place, and word of Yahowah, our God. We intervened in this dispute on behalf of the entire family by rebuking Judaism as we celebrated what it means to be Yahweh. At this glorious moment, one in which we find our beloved Yasha'yah celebrating the life of Dowd and explaining how we would echo his sentiments to call his people home, I consider it right to contemplate where Yahowah inspired his prophet to take us through these words. 356 This is an announcement and warning, Howie, to everyone who thirsts, shall same, choose to walk toward the water, toward the source of cleansing and life, Holak Laha Maim. Then, let the one who wants to enjoy the benefits of the relationship do so without cost because the path to walk to get the most enjoyment out of life does not require anyone to pay anything, Wa Asherin La Hu Keesb. You have been given the opportunity to go about, Holak, acquiring food, choosing to procure and obtain what is needed, Shabbat, and is nourishing, Wa Kal. Come hither, Wa, to obtain, Shabbat, wine, Yain, without any money, Varlo Keesb, and milk, Shalab, without remuneration or compensation, Wa Bar Lo Masha. Yasha'yah 55-1. So please explain, why do you spend, continually paying out money, Lamar Shakal keys, for that which is not actually bread, Bar Lo Lechem, such that your labor, YYV atom, is not satisfying and produces nothing of lasting value, Bar Lo La Sebar. Listen diligently, Shama, to me, LNE, and be nourished by, Wakal, that which is good, by that which is useful and beneficial, productive and valuable, Tob, even exquisitely pleasurable and extravagantly superb, divinely delightful and abundantly enjoyable, Anag, with these being the most desirable and beneficial options, Vahar Dashan, for your soul, Nipesh Atom. Yasha'yah 55-2. Incline your ear, doing so of your own volition, Nata Urzan Atom, and choose to walk to me, Waholak El Eni. Choose to actually listen, Washama, so that your soul may continue to exist, Wahaya Nipesh Atom. Then I will cut you into, establishing for you, Wakarat La Atom, the everlasting, Olam, Covenant 357 Barith which was affirmed and verified, a man, with unremitting love and unfailing devotion, Kesed, for Dowd. Yasha'yah 55-3. Behold, because surely, Hen, I bestowed and offered him as, Nathan Hugh, an enduring witness, Ed, to people of every ethnicity and culture, Laam, an authorized leader publicly promoting the truth, Nagid, and as an instructor, Wazawa, for an archaic and misled world, Laam. Yasha'yah 55-4. I want to emphasize this here and now, asking you to pay attention, Hen, there is a lone Gentile, someone who is neither a Israelite nor Yahudi, Gawi, whom you consistently fail to recognize and acknowledge, Lo Yada, whom you can actually read consistently calling you out, literally summoning you by continuing to make pronouncements to welcome you to an upcoming meeting, Kara. In addition, Wah, this lone Gawi, who is not understood or respected by you, and who possesses information you fail to comprehend, Lo Yada Otter, shall be, and now has been, hurriedly brought before you, and he is intense in his continual focus upon you, not wasting any time, genuinely working as quickly as possible to pursue you, Ruz El Otter, on behalf of, Laman, Yahowah, your God, Elohim Otter, approaching the set-apart one, Walakadaush of Yisrael. For indeed, KY, he is reaffirming your status, lifting you up by shaking the tree to knock off the fruit so that you can be gleaned, preparing you for the harvest by recognizing and respecting your value, Pa Otter. Yasha'yah 55-5. Seek, learning the information which has been made available about, Dirosh, Yahowah, while he may be found and encountered, Bar Matzah 358 Hu. Choose to call upon him, Kara Hu, while he is near, Var Haya Hu Karob. Yasha'yah 55-6. Those in violation of the standard, the unethical and immoral, the religious and political, Rasha, should choose to reject their own way, as Derek Hugh, along with the evil and deceitful individual whose beliefs, musings, and opinions are untrue, wa awenish makashabah Hugh. Let him choose of his own volition, to return, wa shub, to, Yahowah, so that he may have compassion on him and love him, re-engaging in a relationship with him, wa racham Hugh. And as for our God, wa Elohim anaknu, he will actually forgive, la salak many, Rabbah. Yasha'yah 55-7. For my thoughts, ky makashabah any, are not your thoughts, lo makashabah atom. And neither are my ways, wa lo Derek any, your ways, Derek atom, prophetically declares, Naum, Yahowah. Yasha'yah 55-8. For the spiritual realm, ky shamaim, is dimensions beyond the comprehension of, Gaba, the material realm, min eres. Likewise, so, ken, are my ways, Derek any, well in advance, Gaba, of your ways, Derek atom, and, wa, my reasoning, makashabah any, distant from, min, your inclinations and opinions, makashabah atom. Yasha'yah 55-9. Indeed, just as, ky kar asher, the rain, geshem, descends, coming down, yarad, along with snow, wa ha-shalag, from the sky, min ha-shamaim, they do not return there without watering and refreshing the earth, wa shem lo shub ky imroa eth ha-eres, such that 359 it conceives life, buds, wa yalod high, sprouts, and grows, wa zamak high. When I give seeds, wa Nathan zerah, to the one who sows, la ha-zerah, there is bread to eat, wa lechem la ha-kal. Yasha'yah 55-10, so shall my word be, ken haya debar any. For the benefit of the relationship, Asher, that which goes out of my mouth, Yatsa min pay any, shall not return to me without result, delivering what was expected, lo shub el any rekam. Without exception, ky im, it will accomplish, asar, the relational benefits which, Asher, I desire and on behalf of those I find pleasing, chafets. And it will succeed, wazalak, for the benefit of the relationship for which I have extended it, Asher shalak hu. Yasha'yah 55-11. Indeed, with a positive attitude, ky bar simka, you will be brought out and withdrawn, yatsa. And with the relationship reconciled, wa bar shalam, you will be guided and led, yabal, to the mountains and to the hilltops, ha ha wa ha jaibar, becoming worry-free, peaceful, and serene, patsak, upon your appearance, la pana atom, singing, Rina. And all of the trees of the field, wa shirlets ha sardeh, shall clap their hands, bending in a celebratory manner, makakaf. Yasha'yah 55-12. Instead of, takath the thorn bush, nyatsuz a cypress tree and noble fir, birch, shall ascend, Allah. And in place of, wa takath, the stinging nettle, surfad, a myrtle, hadas, shall rise, Allah. This will be, wa haya, a place to approach, la shamla, Yahowah, an everlasting sign and symbol, la otholam, which shall never be uprooted or cut down, lo carrot. Yasha'yah 55-13. 360 For this is what, ky ko, Yahowah, says, Amar, be observant and consider, Shamar, the means to exercise good judgment, and justly resolve disputes, making good decisions, Mishpat. Then, wa, engage, acting upon, asar, that which is correct and vindicating, Zardeka, because indeed, ky, my deliverance and resulting salvation, Yasha'yah any, are approaching, close and intimately personal, Karob la any. And, wa, the one who is correct about me, Zardeka any, will come, la bo, and be revealed, Galah. Yasha'yah 56-1. Blessed by the benefits of the relationship, joyous and productive, Ashri, is the person, Inaush, who acts upon and engages in, Asar, this, Joth. Because, wa, the son, Ben, of Adam, by observing, Shamar, the Shabat, and by not defiling and profaning it, Minchal Hu, he is empowered and strengthened, enlightened and restored, Chazak, by it, Bar-Hai. By being observant, wa Shamar, his hand, and especially that which he influences, Yod-Hu, is kept from acting upon or engaging in, Minasar, anything unjust, immoral, or irrational, Ra. Yasha'yah 56-2. Do not say regarding, wa Alamar, the observant son of a foreign land, the one who knows and understands through thoughtful examination, then acknowledges by being discerning and respectful, wa Ben-Ha-Nekar, who has formed a relationship with, Lawa El, Yahowah, something which would infer or suggest, Lama, Yahowah, has abandoned me, preventing me from being included, Badal any, as part of his family, Minin Alam Hu. 361 And let not the esteemed and authorized designee say, Wa alamaha series what now, if, hen, I have become a silenced counselor and muted messenger, any etziabish. Yasha'yah 56-3. To the contrary, this is what, Kyko, Yahowah, says, Amar, on behalf of individuals who have been castrated as a result of the positions they have taken as leaders, Laha series, of those who provide guidance regarding the benefits of the relationship, Asher, by being consistently and continually observant, genuinely, continually, and actively attentive, Shema, during my Shabbats, Shabbatoth any, who evaluate and choose, Asher, to walk along the correct path, Bar Asher, in deference to me, out of respect for me and to please me, eager to experience this with me, Chafets, and, Wah, who are willing to demonstrate an intense desire to learn about, to be steadfastly committed to, and to become empowered, Chazak, by my covenant, Barbarith any. Yasha'yah 56-4. I will offer, freely giving, Wa Nathan, to them, Lahem, in my home and within my family, Bar Baith any, and within my protected enclosure, Wa Bar Chauma any, an outstretched, welcoming, and empowering hand, Yod, and a name, Wa Shem, even better, Tob, than other sons and daughters, Min Ben Wa Min Bath. I will give to him and them, Nathan La Hu, Hem, an everlasting and eternal, Olam, designation and reputation, Shem, which, for having shared the benefits of the relationship, Asher, will never be removed or taken away, Lo Karath. Yasha'yah 56-5. And the children, Wa Beni, of the observant and discerning foreigner, Ha Nekar, have formed a relationship with, Ha Lawal, Yahowah. 362 They serve him, La Sharat Hu, in love with, Wa La Ehabeth, Yahowah's Yahowah, name, Shem, seeking to exist as his co-workers, La Haya La Hu La Ebed, always observing, Shurl Shema, the Shabat, making it special by not disrespecting it, Min Chol Hu. They willingly demonstrate an intense desire to learn about, to be steadfastly committed to, and to become empowered, Shazak, by my covenant, Barbarith any. Yasha'yah 56-6. It is my desire, Tafala any, to bring, Wabo, them to my set-apart mountain, Hemel HaKodesh any, and cause them to rejoice, such that they are elated, Wasamakhem, in the family, Barbaith. Their uplifting sacrifices and elevating offerings, Olahem wa Zebakhem, will be accepted and favored, La Ratzon, on my altar, Almais Beach any. This is because, KY, my house, Baith any, my home and family, shall be called, Kara, a home, Baith of intervention, of reasoned requests and sound judgment, Tafala, for the entire family, La Shurl Ha'am. Yasha'yah, Yahowah saves, Isaiah 56-7. It would be impossible to overemphasize what Yahowah has inspired Yasha'yah to convey on our behalf. These are transformative words, serving as a life-changing revelation. This epitomizes the purpose of Taruw'ah. Perhaps the most pondered question throughout time has been, if there is a God, how do I approach him? And here we find the answer. These prophetic writings demonstrate that Yahowah is God. And he has just provided a list of things shared by those who are invited into his home. As members of our Heavenly Father's family. 3631. We form a relationship with Yahowah. We choose to associate with God in a manner that is consistent with the covenant's terms and conditions. Man was created for this purpose and, therefore, is rewarded for choosing to know, love, trust, and rely upon our Creator's and Savior's instructions. 2. We serve God. Those of us who accept the invitation to live in Yahowah's home render assistance, fulfilling our roles in our Heavenly Father's family. Our contribution enables the family to grow. 3. We love Yahowah's personal name. More than just knowing it, we adore and treasure it. We wear Yahowah's name proudly in recognition that God is our Father, and we proclaim Yahowah's name boldly, recognizing that it alone has the power to save, especially when it is associated with his beloved Son. 4. We are and will always be devoted to learning. By closely examining and carefully considering the Torah, we are motivated to share Yahowah's guidance. This inspires us to expose and condemn religious lies as witnesses to the truth of the Torah. We do so, especially on Taruw'ah, so that God's intent to reconcile his relationship with his people is known. 5. We actively observe the Shabat. We use this day to increase our understanding of Yahowah's plan and prophetic timeline while seeking to enhance our relationship with our Father. 6. We are passionate about the covenant, and as such, we walk with God and respond to him in accordance with the 5 conditions which comprise and define the agreement. And by responding to and accepting the covenant's instructive conditions, we are afforded abundant and eternal life within Yahweh's family. 3647. We respond to Yahweh's requests and appreciate his intercession on our behalf. As beneficiaries of Passover, unyeasted bread, firstborn children, and 7 Shabbats, we are thrilled to blow the shofar on trumpets. As a result, Yahweh is pleased to bring us to his mountain and home so that we can celebrate his return on Yom Kippurim. Continuing to teach us, God says, Yahowah, the proper pronunciation of Yahowah is guided by his Torah, teaching regarding his higher existence, my upright one and foundation, Edeni, who gathers, Kabats, who collects, unifies, saves, and assembles the scattered, Nadak, the exiled and cast out, of Yisrael, individuals who engage and endure with God, yet again, Od, now and forevermore, announces, in advance of it occurring, Naum, prophetically prophesies, I will assemble, bringing together, Kabats, I will accumulate and amass. Peel imperfect, the saved are obtained by God's actions which are enduring, before him, Al-Hu, in front of him, those he has obtained, La Kabats Hu, those he has encouraged, to draw near, to be called out and gather together, Nephil participle, the subject passively receives the benefit of having played a role in having obtained these people, and he is now defined by his actions, from 1 Qatsyr. Yasha'yah, Yahowah liberates and delivers, Isaiah 56:8. It appears as if Yasha'yah is acknowledging 2 related events. The beloved prophet is reminding us that Yahowah will once again Kabats, collect, unify, assemble, and save the Nadak, scattered sheep of Israel. This process began on January 27, 1945, with the liberation of the Auschwitz concentration camp, leading directly to the return of Yahweh to Israel. It will conclude 88 years 248 days thereafter, 777,360 hours, 365 on October 2, 2033, in year 6000 year, on the Day of Reconciliations. The second aspect of this appears to be deeply personal, letting us see an aspect of Yahweh's character seldom considered. That Gawi frantically blowing the shofar, the Naka, observant foreigner and Saries, authorized designee Yahweh has deployed to call his people home, will witness the product of his efforts, a united Israel gathered before Yahweh. And while he views his contribution as negligible, it is God who realizes that a joy shared is a joy magnified. The Naka will get, albeit in a much more dramatic fashion than he anticipated, what he has long desired, the opportunity to experience Yahweh's joy in the presence of his people. So, while he has requested nothing more than being allowed to stand in the back of the room when Yahweh greets his family for the first time, it seems that God wants more. It is what fathers do when their children please them and accomplish something worthwhile. He, as a proud father, wants to see his sons' response to all they have achieved by working together. On behalf of Israel, I initially shared the prophetic pronouncement regarding the Nakri at the conclusion of the prophecy's future history prologue in Bersith, in the beginning, the first volume of Yada Yahowah. In the Hebrew text, the only difference between Naka and Nakri is the addition of the Yod, or hand of Yahowah, making Nakri my observant foreigner. In the pictographic characters which originally shaped these words, Naka means, the seeds which take root and grow are being handed to the observant to see and consider. And while that is good, presented as Nakri is far better. Hebrew words are determined to be beneficial or counterproductive based on whether the characters which comprise them move toward or away from one of the 4 letters comprising Yahweh's name. And in the case 366 of Nakri, the child bearing the seed, and the observant individual, are growing and looking toward Yahweh's outstretched hand. With an eye to these characters, the Nez, Banner the Chota, secondary branch has been tasked with writing at Yahweh's behest is scribed. It speaks of a son sowing the seeds which grow and bear fruit on a sign which is being lifted up for all to read. With this in mind, here is Shalomah, Solomon's commencement address to the children of Israel upon the completion of Yahweh's home. Therefore, Wagam, regarding someone else, an observant and discerning foreigner from a different ethnicity and geographic location who will come to understand, Ha-Nakri, the Nakri, someone from a different place and culture, speaking a different language, who, having paid attention, will comprehend, from Naka, someone who, by being attentive and astute, will come to be acquainted, recognize, and acknowledge something which deserves our highest regard and respect, who, to show the way to the benefits of the relationship, Asher, who, to reveal the correct and restrictive path to walk to get the most out of life, is not of your people, Lo Minim Otter, this Yisrael Hu. He will come, Wabo, he will arrive and enter the scene, from a distant country in a distant time, Mineres Rechauk, out of a land far from Israel and following a long interval of time, explaining why Erez was associated with Nakri when introduced by Moses, for the express purpose of being a reliable witness and providing truthful answers regarding, the man, for the sake of responding and replying, providing testimony, as a witness with the express intent and purpose of revealing, from a man. To be trustworthy and reliable, even verifiable, regarding, your, otter, 367 year would be Yahweh, Yahowah's beloved while your would be Yahowah's, surprisingly important, Har-Gadol, tremendously empowering and distinguished, growth promoting and magnifying, astonishingly great, name, Shem, personal and proper designation, renown, and reputation, the influence of your hand, Yod otter, your ability to accomplish the mission, especially your Yod. The first letter in your name which as an open hand reaching down and out defines your role in our lives, denoting your ability to engage and accomplish the task at hand, also serving as a reference to Daud, Yah's right hand, along with the powerful and passionate ruler who is prepared to lead, Har-Chazak, the very strong and influential individual with a fighting spirit, who is ready and able to protect his people from those who would otherwise seek to harm them. The one who is intensely prepared and resolutely capable of encouraging, repairing, and defending his extended family, the one who embodies the right character, appropriate status, and speaking ability to govern appropriately with a firm and strong hand, who clearly knows how to lead in the proper direction, speaking again of his father, David, and, Wah, the Taruw'ah, protective shepherd and sacrificial lamb, Taruw'ah, the prevailing and effective nature, the strength, resolve, and overall ability of this remarkably important and impactful individual of action who, as a leader and fighter is engaged as a shepherd among his sheep, who is fruitful in his ways, accomplishing the mission, especially when sowing the seeds which encourage new life and growth while denoting and advancing the purpose of the arm of God, of his shepherd, and sacrificial lamb, yet again addressing his father, David, whom you have reached out and will extend, Otter Har-Natter, through whom you have stretched out. When, he arrives on the scene and chooses to pursue this, when he, speaking of the Nakri, comes, bringing and bearing these associations, wanting to 368 clarify the proper direction toward the ultimate goal, which is to enter back into the relationship and be included within the family, perfect consecutive, literally and genuinely, during this moment in time, and of his own volition, then, he will help interested parties reconcile their relationship, by providing those who exercise good judgment with the information and justifications needed to make a correct and reasoned decision. He, the Nakri, will intervene in the relationship, by providing an accurate assessment of the evidence, enabling thoughtful individuals to come to an agreement. And by foreseeing future events he will provide persuasive arguments which are assured to deliver the expected results, regarding this familial relationship, pertaining to and concerning God's home and family, bringing Israel back home, back to the temple in Yerushalayim. Dabarem ha-Yaumim, words of the days, 2 Chronicles 6:32. When you hear this out of the heavens, coming from the atmosphere, when you listen to what comes out of the spiritual realm by way of the sky, perhaps prophetic of radio waves and especially satellite-based broadband internet connections now archived in the cloud under Yada Yahowah, within the location where you live, Min Makan Yashabota, within the place you are located and dwell, then, engage and act accordingly, doing everything, Asakar Shurl, under the auspices of free will, endeavor to expend the considerable effort required to receive all the benefits, doing everything consistent with the example and pattern he has set, perfect consecutive, which, to show the way, Asher, that, to reveal the proper path to get the most out of life and receive the benefits associated with the relationship, the observant foreigner from a different ethnicity and geographic location who understands, Nakri, the Nakri. This man from a different place and culture, speaking a different language, who is uniquely 369 discerning, has invited you to read, Kara El Otter, has proclaimed and offered to you about God, has recited to you, summoning you to it, calling you out to meet with and be welcomed by God, imperfect, literally with unfolding consequences, for the express purpose of being a witness who provides answers such that, Laman, for the sake of responding, providing testimony, with the express intent and purpose of revelation so that, every person on the earth, Sherlam Ha-Erez, will have a genuine and ongoing opportunity to become familiar with, to know, acknowledge, accept, and understand, Yada, will be shown by Yada so that they might appreciate and comprehend, imperfect, genuinely and actually on an ongoing basis, your name, Eth Shemotter, that which is associated with your proper designation and actual reputation. Coming to respect and revere you, while Eth Otter, once revitalized, will approach your awesome nature, simultaneously along with, concurrently with, your people, Amotter, Yisrael, individuals who struggle and wrestle or engage and endure with God. And also so that, while they may know, Yada, they might acknowledge, accept, and understand, that, truthfully, assuredly, your family, and this house, that your home, which to reveal the correct path to walk, to give life meaning, that, Asher, to show the way to benefit from the relationship, I have built for the family, Banar, I, Shalomah, have constructed for the generations, for the son and the son's son, are designated and called, Kara, is summoned and received, proclaimed and appointed, and especially called out and welcomed, by your name, Shemotah, by your proper designation, your reputation and renown, Yahweh, Yahweh's beloved. Dabarem ha-Yaumim, words of the days, 2 Chronicles 6:33. 370 I did not ask Yahweh to draw your attention to our work, only to help me do it correctly. And yet, I would be doing God and his people a disservice to run from these prophetic pronouncements. Yahweh wants Israel to listen to him and to come home. And not finding a Yahweh who was willing to engage, God not only stooped to using a Gawi, he seems to be pleased with what we have accomplished on his behalf. It has occurred to me that I might put my contribution into the proper perspective if I referred to myself as a delightfully happy and fulfilled monkey, the beloved sidekick of a wise and caring organ grinder. I would be nothing without him, and yet with him allowing me to tell his story to his people, the student becomes a teacher, integrated into Yahweh's story as these events play out before him. If suggesting that Yahweh's Nakri is performing on behalf of one far wiser than he is unbecoming, that was not my intent. I love this job. As I learn and come to understand, I am afforded the opportunity to teach God's family. And yes, I am thrilled by what we have accomplished. I am, however, overwhelmed. It is one thing to read of and share the heroics of Moses and Daud, but entirely another to see oneself spoken about in the ways we have just read. Aware of my flaws and failings, but also my steadfast devotion, I am struggling to put this all into the proper perspective. My intent was to remain Yada, an invisible and transparent witness, striving to share Yahweh's testimony as accurately as possible. But my father wanted more, and he incorporated his adopted son into his story. I have become a voice calling out in the wilderness of words, preparing all who will listen for Yahweh's arrival with his firstborn, our shepherd, Messiah, and King, as well as our Savior. 371 Having a Goyish monkey perform in this fashion for God may come across as a bit insulting, and perhaps that is the point. Given every advantage, Yahweh turned a blind eye to Yahweh. And so, by using a Gawi, our father may be taunting his children, saying, if he gets it, why are you all so clueless? God has tried every other approach, including speaking directly to his people, but with limited success, so this is his final attempt at awakening them. If you are offended, good. Live up to your calling and we'll sing together. The reunion with his family on this day may be the single most joyous moment in Yahweh's eternal existence, and to think that he wants to share it with the likes of me, is more than I can process without getting emotional. And yet, it is so much like the loving Father we have all come to know and respect. So as not to disappoint, let's move on to the next line in his program. As a tender-hearted soul who adores animals, a sentiment shared with Yah, to the extent that we have one more positive statement before rebuking the religious and political among his people, let's celebrate nature. All of your, Shirl Atom, your every, from one Qatsyr, animals, Chea, life forms, living creatures, from Che, to be alive, of the open environs, Sardeh, of the countryside, may come, Otter, you have arrived, to eat, Akal, to be fed, including your every life form, Gam Shirl Chea Atom, even all of your living beings, from one Qatsyr, of the forest, Yah. Yasha'yah, Yahowah freeze, Isaiah 56:9. 372 It would be like Eden if Yahweh brought all of the animals he had created before his children. We might learn to more fully appreciate them and enjoy them, perhaps even speak with them. I expect to see animals like these throughout eternity. Life is something Yahweh celebrates. It is the most interesting aspect of creation. There is the possibility that Yahweh is using Chea metaphorically. Che speaks of those who are alive, and Yeh is the familial form of our Father's name. Those of us who have come following the Taruw'ah harvest to witness Yahweh's return on Yom Kippurim, now living with Yahweh integrated into our nature, will be nourished. It is a feast followed by another, Sukkah, where we camp out with Dad. In the following statement, Caleb, dog is being used symbolically to depict vicious and rabid rabbis. It is a challenging metaphor today because, unlike 2,700 years ago when this was written, dogs have become part of our families. Even the Hebrew word, Caleb, means all heart, depicting why we have come to love them so much. But back then, dogs were not cute, they hunted in packs and were cunning scavengers, often preying on the young, old, unprotected, and weak. And to be fair to Yah, one of his favorite people bore the name Caleb. When the Israelites cowered at the opportunity to enter the promised land as a result of hearing that there were others living there, it was Caleb, whose courage and understanding caused him to rise up and take a stand before the people. Caleb was willing to trust Yahowah and confidently go where God's words and presence had led them. As a result, Caleb and Yasha'yah alone, among that entire generation, were invited into the promised land. It was because they did not hesitate or equivocate in Yahowah's presence. Numbers 13:30 and Deuteronomy 1:35-36. 373 Having not learned the lesson of Caleb, 3,500 years later, with another open invitation to enter the promised land, we find Israel's leaders once again paralyzing the people. Of those working to silence God's voice by shouting over him in the aftermath of the Taruw'ah harvest, God says, his watchmen, Zaphahu, those assigned to be Israel's lookouts and keep watch, protecting Yahweh, i.e., political, religious, military, academic, and media representatives, scribed in one Qatsyr such that his is a reference to Israel, are blind, are unable to see and are unaware. They are all, Shurlhem, ignorant and opposed to Yada, low Yada, without understanding, unaware and irrational, without revelation or respect, clueless and stupid, Calperfect. They are all, Shurlhem, dumb dogs, Ilam Keleb, conniving male prostitutes incapable of intelligent speech, without the capacity to understand or the ability to prevail, low Yakol, unqualified and incapable, utterly incompetent, barking and howling, Larnabak, making incomprehensible sounds, only used this one time, with the closest cognate being Nabuah, babbling Babylonian prophets, panting while dreaming, Hazar, lying around smitten with their inactivity and lack of awareness, Shakab Ahab Lanum, sleeping around and yet enamored with inability and impotency while essentially comatose. Yasha'yah 56:10. These dogs, Waha Keleb, conniving prostitutes, have the soul of a goat, as they are stubborn, aggressive, and disagreeable creatures, bitterly antagonistic, easy nipesh, they are obstinate, and yet forceful, fiercely belligerent individuals. They never acknowledge that they have taken too much, lo Yada Sabar, they do not realize how 374 gluttonous and dissatisfied they have been, nor do they acknowledge that their sexual desires are unrestrained and insatiable, wallowing in abundance, they are unconcerned about those they have deprived. They are shepherds, Wahem Ra, those tending to the flock, feeding and leading the sheep, serving as a metaphor for religious leaders, are without Yada, ignorant and irrational, devoid of understanding, lo Yada bin, they are clueless, disrespectful, and unaware, neither perceiving nor comprehending, lacking the capacity to teach. All of them have turned their own way, Shurlhem la Derek Hem Panna, every man for his own ill-gotten gain and dishonest advantage, Ishla Betsahu, because of his own personal greed, being immoral and using deception to steal, without exception or restraint, Min Qatsyr, every last one of them, from beginning to end. Yasha'yah, Yahowah liberates, Isaiah 56:11. A watchman in the prophet's parlance is an official representative of the people who has the responsibility to keep watch over them, protect and inform them, and be aware of what is happening all around them. The Zapha are Israel's political, religious, military, academic, and media leaders. And according to God, they are all blind. Yada has been used prolifically throughout this prophecy, as both the title under which these 25 volumes devoted to more accurately translating Yahowah's testimony have been written, and as my pen name, I am especially attuned to its use. And on each of the previous 3 occasions, Yada has been negated, thereby showing the degenerative effect of Judaism on Jews, causing the world's brightest to become ignorant and irrational when addressing Hashem. As more and more Jews denounce Judaism, and engage in the covenant, some as a result of what they have read in 375 Yada Yahowah, rabbis will become ever more low Yada, fulfilling this prophecy. They will behave like a pack of rabid dogs, too sick to realize that they are the reason their people are dying. Incapable of anything other than worn-out platitudes and ad hominem insults, they will remain completely out of touch with reality. Since rabbis are acclaimed as sages, wise men, and great and godly thinkers, the religious will find Yahowah's rebuke untenable. And yet, how does one deny the word of God, scribed by your prophet, to your people, in your language? This attack on the motives and credibility of Israel's rabbis is not only blistering, but it also specifically denounces the pack leaders at this moment and time. And it is comprehensive in documenting the extent of their malfeasance. We have just begun. These dastardly dogs are religious prostitutes. Pretending to be wise, God claims that they are ignorant, deprived by their religion and greed of the capacity to understand. In his view, rabbis are blathering idiots, impotent and incompetent, essentially comatose. From Yahowah's perspective, the men who claim to represent him are bitterly antagonistic and disagreeable creatures, obstinate and belligerent souls, making them more like goats than sheep. God is calling Israel's religious leaders gluttonous and insatiable, sexual predators, pursuing their own agenda. They are lo Yada bin, not just ignorant, but irrational, both clueless and stupid, unaware and incapable of understanding. To Yada is to know, while Bin speaks of understanding by way of making intelligent connections. They are neither. Should you think that Yahowah is prone to hyperbole, let's consider the facts. The 10 richest rabbis in Israel have a combined wealth of $765 million. The grandson of the 376 Kabbalah master, Baba Sali, Rabbi Elazar Abu Qatsyr, became the wealthiest of them all by charging Jews exorbitant sums for his blessings. Rabbis are the highest paid clerics in the world, with average annual salaries 350% higher than Christian clerics and 5 times more than imams. There is a fee for almost every occasion, and nothing is free. And for what? Lying to their stooges. These shepherds have become thieves, with every rabbi, without exception, dishonest in their solicitation of ill-gotten gain. Worst of all, they are paid by the state of Israel, with taxpayers even forced to send these deadbeats to rabbinical school, as if it takes a special education to deceive and swindle the people. When it comes to issues of control, rabbis are ruthless. They will stop at nothing to keep someone from slipping away. Moreover, they suffer from the normalcy bias, which causes them to rebuff manifest warnings of impending doom, such as this, and live like nothing is ever going to change. Come, let us consent to assemble together and agree to change everything around. Otter, let's approach things differently. Kal imperative. Let us reach for and receive. Lakek, let us select and accept, taking, the wine, yain, drinking fermented, alcoholic beverages, sheker, alcohol, to remain inebriated and intoxicated, Saba, to the point of drunkenness. Tomorrow, Machar, the future, will be like, YYV5C6, will come to exist similar to, this day, Yahowah, with us more powerful and important, Gadal, greater and more distinguished, even more exalted and wealthier, Yada, considered superior, abundantly enriched through the binding nature of religion, exerting our power and influence, Maud, being praised and honored as inspirational. Yasha'yah, Yahowah frees, Isaiah 56:12. 377, and such is the toast of the rabbis. With their bearded noses in the air, they will fall flat on their tuchusses, soiling their ugly religious outfits in the process. Yahowah is describing people who are rallying to change his message and his word to suit their own political and religious agendas. The undercurrent of both the Talmud and Zohar is change, moving from God to man, from freedom to control, from enlightenment to ignorance. But a new day is dawning. Yahowah is returning with Dowd, and neither finds stupid appealing, especially when the idiots are braggarts. Intoxicated with their own sense of self-worth, their own words, their own religion and political schemes, Israel's leadership, especially rabbis, exalted ones, have controlled Jews for so long, they cannot imagine this ever changing. And yet, during the Mikra of Taruw'ah, as rabbis think they are ushering in a new year on Rosh Hashanah, their worst critics will vanish. What then? God's diagnostic evaluation of the worst of his people began. His watchmen, those assigned to be Israel's lookouts and keep watch, protecting Yahweh, Zaphahu, are blind, Ewa. They are all, Shulhem, ignorant and opposed to Yada, without understanding, without revelation or respect, and thus clueless, lo Yada. They are all, Shulhem, dumb dogs, incapable of intelligent speech, Ilam Keleb, without the capacity to understand or the ability to prevail, unqualified and incapable, utterly incompetent, lo Yakol, barking and howling in incomprehensible fashion, babbling Babylonian prophets, la Nabak, panting while dreaming, Hazar, lying around smitten with their 378 inactivity and lack of awareness, Jacob Ahab la Neum. Yasha'yah 56:10. These dogs, Waha Keleb, have the soul of a goat, as they are stubborn, aggressive, and disagreeable creatures, bitterly antagonistic, easy nipesh. They never acknowledge that they have taken too much, never admitting that they are gluttonous sexual deviants, unrestrained and insatiable, wallowing in abundance, lo Yada Sabar. Those tending the flock, Wahem Ra, are without Yada, ignorant and irrational, devoid of understanding, clueless and disrespectful, neither perceiving nor comprehending, and thus lacking the capacity to teach, lo Yada Bin. All of them have turned their own way, Shulhem la Derek Hempana, every man for his own ill-gotten gain and dishonest advantage, Ishla Betzahu, without exception or restraint, Min Qatsyr. Yasha'yah 56:11. Come, let us consent to assemble together and agree to change everything around. Otter. Let us reach for and receive, Lakek, the wine, yain, drinking fermented, alcoholic beverages, sheker, to remain inebriated and intoxicated, Saba. Tomorrow, Machar, will be like, YYV5C6, this day, Yahowah, with us more powerful and important, Gadal, even more exalted and wealthier, enriched through the binding nature of religion, Yada, exerting our power and influence, Maud. Yasha'yah, Yahowah frees, Isaiah 56:12. The flock has been deceived by these dastardly dogs.